So let's move on to the Chicago Bulls. Finished number 6 in the East. How did you grade them?
I gave them a B. I gave the Chicago Bulls a B. They exceeded my expectations actually for last season. I cannot believe that they were able to be in the numbers. They ended in the sixth spot in the Eastern Conference to go on to at least get gently swept out of round one in the playoffs. But they did that considering all of the things that they had to deal with. I mean, there's at one point where half their roster was on health and safety protocols. And
Mm-hmm.
then, with DeMar DeRozan being new to their roster, and then with the injuries of Lonzo Ball and Caruso, which are huge contributors to their success, Zach LaVine being compromised throughout the season. I think that for them to be able to even use that, for DeMar DeRozan to put the Bulls on his back and carry them shooting phenomenally from the 2-point range. Like I can't, we talk about that three ball, but that 2-point range that DeMar DeRozan was able to put up was amazing. So I gave them a B because I didn't have them. So, they did pretty well. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
B. Mhm.
Okay. I gave the Chicago Bulls a C. I thought they were pretty average. It was a very disappointing season. But again, they were compromised, right? You mentioned the players that were out of the lineup, but we were able to see IO get busy.
Ah, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
anytime a
Mhm.
team is hit with so many injuries and health and safety protocols, you're able to see who else they have and how deep they are. So I thought the Chicago Bulls had a very average season. Philadelphia 76ers. How'd you grade the Sixers? Another tumultuous season. Oh my God.
I gave the 76ers a B. I gave them a B.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's surprising.
Yeah, I gave them a B. I think they had a pretty decent season considering. And I think in lieu or in spite of the injuries that Joel Embiid sustained during this season, they were at least able to do that. The reason why I gave them a B is because I needed James Harden to do more than what he did. He did all of that to come over to the 76ers and for them to have a gentleman exit from the second round. I needed more from them. I'm sorry. I just expected more because of what they did to acquire said player. And so yeah, no, not on the back of Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid did all he can do. What else was he supposed to do? Right? Play with a semi concussion with a fractured face. I mean, come on, we can't do that. But aside from that, at least they had a decent season and they were able to make it to the playoffs. But again, my expectations for the 76ers with Joel Embiid on their roster is high. I'm just sorry because that man is the dude. And then you have these pieces, and it's just not enough. B.
Yeah. Now I have high expectations for any team that Doc Rivers coaches. I think
Mm,
he's one of the top coaches in the NBA. The Sixers won 51 games but finished fourth in the East. I gave them a C plus.
Oh,
Very
man.
close to a B. Yeah, very close to a B, but they had a rocky season. Actually felt pretty bad for him. Joel Embiid didn't win the MVP. I felt like he should have won it. He gave his blood, sweat, and tears to Philadelphia, and he still didn't win it. But hey, they had been all season. I mean, I just felt bad for the Sixers. That's why I gave them a C plus. Cleveland Cavaliers, however, messed around and were ninth in the East, went to the play-in tournament, but they were playing without Colin Sexton. Jerry Allen, remember, he was out,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I gave them a C, but there is high hope in Cleveland, I'm telling you.
I gave the Cleveland Cavaliers a B. They really impressed me this season, and not only the players you mentioned, but also Ricky Rubio went out early part of the season, which was a huge uh, detriment to their team. I mean, it's just what the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to do this past season by having the Twin Towers out there, showing that height still matters.
Yes.
And I gave them a B. Colin went out. Darius Garland stepped it all the way up. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Darius! Wow. So yeah, no, they gave it a B for me. I really enjoyed the product that they put out. I think that they did work hard. No, they did not make it into the playoffs, but considering where they've come from and what they were able to produce for this 2022 season, for me, it's a B.
Mm-hmm. Okay.